Okay, so the Indian markets were basically a sea of red today. But you know what? We're going to look past those scary headlines. We're going to dig a little deeper to find where the real strength, the real strategy is hiding. Let's get into it.
So you see all that red, and you think, is this just bad news? Or is there an opportunity hidden in all this chaos? That's all we're doing today. We're using this downturn as a kind of lens, to find those companies that are actually swimming against the tide.
All right, first things first. Let's pull back and look at the big picture. Get a feel for the overall market performance today. Yeah, no surprise, the big indices all ended the day down. You've got the Nifty down about 0.3%, the Sensex dipped 0.2%, and the Bank Nifty, that one took a bit of a bigger hit, slipping 0.5%. It's pretty clear folks were feeling cautious out there.
And listen, this wasn't just a case of a few big guys dragging everyone else down. Nope. The selling was, well, it was everywhere. Think about it. Over 400 of the NSE 500 stocks closed in the red. That's a whopping 80% of the broader market feeling the heat.
So if we slice it by sector, who got hit the hardest? Well, metals, real estate, and energy stocks definitely felt the most pain. But there was one lone survivor, the IT sector. It actually managed to close just a tiny bit in the green. It's a small detail, yeah, but a really significant one. Okay, so that's the 30,000-foot view. Now let's zoom in on the individual stories, the companies that really made waves today. Come on, this is where it gets fun. First on our list is Paytm, and wow, did they deliver a stellar quarterly report. I mean, look at these numbers. Gross merchandise value, up 27%. Loan distribution, that jumped an incredible 63%. And revenue grew a super solid 24%. The best part? They actually posted a positive EBITDA, that's, earnings before all the other stuff, of 141 crore rupees, all because they kept a tight grip on costs. And, when you put up numbers like that, people are going to notice. Brokerage firm MK Global, for one, raised its price target. They're now seeing a potential 21% upside for the stock. It's just a classic case of strong fundamentals getting rewarded, right? All right, next up we have a more complicated story. Let's talk about Ola Electric. On one hand, they had to cut their revenue guidance and reported a pretty steep 47% drop in deliveries. Ouch. But, and this is a big but, their auto division hit a huge milestone. It turned EBITDA positive for the very first time, mostly thanks to sales of their fancier models. So yeah, a real mixed bag there. Okay, let's do a quick fire round on a few other big movers. Asian Paints, it was a top gainer, partly because a competitor's CEO is leaving and it's getting a bigger slice of the MSCI index. On the flip side, Hindalco fell 7% after a fire at a key plant. And then you have Blue Star and Delivery both hitting some headwinds. One cutting guidance, the other reporting losses. It just goes to show, every stock is really dancing to its own beat. So that's the rundown of today's action, but you know how it is. The market never sleeps. So let's turn our attention to what's coming up next on the horizon. Okay, IPO watchers, this one's for you. All eyes are on the Pine Labs IPO. It opens for subscription tomorrow. They're looking to raise almost 3,900 crore rupees, and they've got strong revenue growth to back it up. The gray market premium is already hovering around 8%, which suggests there's some pretty healthy interest out there. And hey, for anyone wondering what that gray market premium, or GMP, thing is, think of it as an unofficial sneak peek. It's an informal indicator of what the market's early vibe is and what kind of pop investors are hoping for when the stock actually starts trading. It's a really important number to watch for any IPO. Oh, and one more thing you want to keep on your radar. Adani Enterprises just announced a massive, and I mean massive, 25,000 crore rupee rights issue. That is a huge capital raise, and you can bet it's going to be a major story in the days ahead.
So after all that, what's the big takeaway here? What should we make of a day like today?
There's a line from our source material that just nails it. It says, even in a choppy market, selective strength shines through. And that's exactly it, isn't it? It means that even on a down day, if you know where to look, you can absolutely find pockets of real strength. So here's the bottom line. Disciplined execution is what creates that alpha, that outperformance everyone's chasing. We saw it plain as day with Paytm, right? They delivered on growth, controlled their costs, boom. And with Asian Paints, which managed to gain by capitalizing on what's happening around them. So what's the lesson? When the market gets nervous, you got to focus on the fundamentals, not the fear. And I'll leave you with this one final thought. Look, it is so easy to get caught up in the daily up and down, just chasing wealth. But the real goal? It's about learning from days exactly like this one. So the real question you should be asking yourself isn't just, how's my portfolio doing? It's, is my wisdom as an investor compounding?